Hello people of the internet! Today I wanted to share with you how I use my Hobonichi Cousin for functional planning, specifically how it helped me to take these huge dreams and goals that I have and break them down to daily to-dos, and also how it helps me to stick to them for the most part. I've used this approach before when I got into grad school, when I built a large YouTube channel, not this one obviously, and also when I switched careers, and it worked in the past. I hope that it works now as well, and perhaps you will find it helpful too. So like I said, right now I would like to help myself make progress on some longer term projects. And I'm the kind of person that when it comes to working on anything long-term alongside with the things that I have to do day to day, like starting a new gig or launching a new product or service, or maybe learning a new skill, when it comes to all of those things, unless I have a system to help me prioritize them, I will be postponing them indefinitely and asking myself, where did all the time in the world go? And just not making any progress. So I need this. So here's what I do. I start out by listing out what I want to achieve in the longer term, which is usually a mix of my current work obligations and those new undertakings. Just to clarify, under achieve, I do not mean external achievements, like say, I want to have 5,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I cannot break down 5,000 subscribers to daily tasks, so I do not use goals like this. I might have a goal like this in mind, but I need to translate it first for myself into an actionable goal. Let's say that to get those 5,000 subscribers, I would need to post, let's say, 30 videos. So 30 videos, this would be my long-term goal for planning. Now, of course, then there's a question of whether this action is the most effective way of reaching that goal or not. But to me, this is part of strategizing and not really planning. So these are my long-term goals, and now I will be allocating them on a monthly basis. This is the fourth quarter, and so I'll allocate them across October, November, and December just to see how much progress I would need to make every month to get there, and just to see if the load is realistic at all. As I do this, I roughly take into account holiday seasons, any upcoming vacations, any competing big deadlines. By the end, when I visualize one of the upcoming month, it should feel challenging, but definitely doable. After I've done this, I plan out the first upcoming month, or if I've done this a while ago, then at the end of the month, I do this again for the upcoming month. Here I'm getting very granular. I mark all public holidays, all days off. I mark the days on which I'm traveling. Like if there is anything happening, which means that I will not be at my desk for the day, I will note it here. Any major deadlines also go here. I also even go as far as counting work days in a month and the number of weeks. This is so helpful to me. If you never tried visualizing your months like this before, and if you struggle with not knowing where your time goes, as I do, I highly recommend doing something like this. I will now take my monthly high-level goals, and I will use this space on my Hobonichi monthly page to break them down into individual deliverables. Now the next step is optional, and it really depends on how much travel I have planned, because if I travel a lot I still need to work, but I have to bear in mind that I don't have access to maybe a camera or maybe even a quiet space for prolonged periods of time when I can focus and do some deep writing or deep research. So if I do a lot of travel, which does happen quite a bit because of the nature of my work, then I do the following step, which is allocating these tasks onto weeks, because I don't want to end up abroad not having a computer, like the big computer on which I edit, for instance, with me, or not having a camera and only having this last week to do that task. You know what I mean? So I want to make sure that while I have access to certain tools, I get certain tasks done. So I find it easier to do this step on my iPad. So I've been just taking a screenshot on my day. I've been putting some of the travel that is like relevant. Basically, I would put all the information. I just didn't want to copy everything, so I just put the essential information on the month. And then I copied this list, and I would just, do the usual thing on an iPad, circle and move it around, move it in the right week. Because I was using this so much, like I found it so useful, I ended up developing my own template calendar for GoodNotes, which is clickable. It's almost done. It's not available yet. If you want, I will link the Etsy store where I think it will be available, or you can do this in Adobe InDesign, or you can use Canvas to recreate something like this. It's basically every week has a section where you can put down the to-dos for that particular week. But again, like I said, I don't always do it. If my month is pretty straightforward, then I will just go with the flow. I only do it when I know that my month will be hectic. Otherwise, I put my weekly deliverables on my weekly pages, and I've been playing with this. I've been placing them here and there. It doesn't really matter. I just have them on the weekly spread. Now, once I have my weekly deliverables, I go day by day, so I do not pre-plan the entire week with all the tasks. I tried doing that, and the very first week I found that this feels very constrained to me, and this affects my motivation negatively. So I usually just take it one day at a time. I plan my day either the night before or the morning off. I just scan through my tasks. First I take out I didn't have many meetings here, but usually I first take out my calendar and note down any events that I have that day here. This is not a reminder for me. All my reminders are electronic. This is just like the monthly page. This is just a visualization of my day. So based on that, I can plan the rest. That's the only purpose that it serves. And then I pick some of the tasks and think, what can I do before my next meeting? What should I do in between meetings? What can I do in the second part of the day? And I put them down here. And also the most important part is, for me at least, like in terms of getting me through the day without distractions, is this part here where I reflect and journal as the day goes on. I literally write down, I have 3.5 hours till my meeting with this person. What will I be able to do that before here? So I literally I tell myself how much time I have. This is my pause and reflect. And then I ask myself, so what is the best way to use that time? I found that using this kind of reflection throughout the day really, really helps me not to go off autopilot, something that I used to do before. And whenever I'm on autopilot, I will start by handling my inbox, and then I will work on whatever task I find in my inbox. This just allows me to prioritize my long-term goals much, much better. Another important thing that I wanted to mention is that I am not just copying tasks from one spread to another. That would be, to me, a bit wasteful. Here I have larger deliverables, while during my day, I only have to-dos which I define as something that I can do in one sitting, which for me is usually under 2 hours. If I cannot do a task in one sitting under 2 hours, then I need to break it down further. So I need to say, Instead of create a draft or I don't know, create a script, I would say write the first draft of the script and then review the first draft. I used to just put these large tasks onto my to-dos. I find that it doesn't work for my motivation. It makes me procrastinate because I find the tasks to be overwhelming. Some tasks, they're not breakdownable in that way. For instance, right now I'm working on a new curriculum and I don't even know how long the research phase will take me. So instead of saying create an outline of the new curriculum, I mean, might as well take me 5 days to do that. I will just say work on the new curriculum for 2 hours and then I can mark it off as a task and I'm done for the day with it. So yeah, this is how I go from my very much long-term tasks, combine them with my day-to-day obligations, and ensure I make a tiny bit of progress one day at a time. And even though, you know, it's very hard to rely on motivation when you start working on something large, just because the outcome of that large thing is so remote and far away. But this system really, really helps me to just make a little bit of progress every day, and I feel that it adds up, and it did serve me so well in the past. I think I would not have been able to achieve some things that I've achieved without sort of organizing it like this. I'm sure there are other systems, I'm just saying that this worked for me. So right now I went back to that same system, and if you find something useful in this video, I'm glad that if it could help you in any way. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!